Hey guys, Dying Oath here. We're ready to take some of your questions. We're here to talk about getting a new drummer, some of our shows, and anything else really that you want to talk about. Do we have anybody watching?
Oh, I'm sure there's some people out there.
Yes.
We got the Grim Reaper and the Bloody's Tea Animal. Jason Yoder.
Yoder.
Bunch of cool peeps. What's going on, guys?
Right there, man.
Grim Reaper says he loves us.
And we love him. Really good, man.
Reese Fur out there.
There's our dude from Noxus.
Gabby.
Ooh, Gabby!
Oh, Gabby out there?
She loves us.
Into the Fire is here.
Nice.
All right.
What's going on, everybody?
Keep it, man. I'll see you guys. I can't see what else is going on. I'm not going to actually swipe just to do that. We had a tree out there.
All right, so we'll let a couple more people get on, and then we'll start chatting about some of these things that we want to tell everybody about.
We're going to talk about some of these endorsements, man. I'm still blown away about some of it.
Absolutely.
I actually got a hint today for some type of endorsement. I don't know. I'm going to look into that.
Are any of you guys watching YouTube chat or just me?
I am.
Okay, cool.
Oh, there goes my
All I've
computer.
got is the 4 people in here from the Zoom, okay? I'm not sure how to... Okay, never mind. No, I can't see the YouTube chat.
Grim Reaper says, live just down the road and plan to see you guys in Lithville.
Sweet.
Nice.
We would love that.
Yeah, definitely.
We just had a show this Saturday, but we have another, November?
November 21st, I think it is.
Yeah.
How long have we go?
So we have a question. Was the drummer change a spur of the moment deal, or has it been something discussed for a bit? Josh, would you like to take that one, or would you like me to?
Totally up to you, man. I mean, we all probably have different feelings on it, man. But it was to me, it was totally spur of the moment. I mean, there might have been a couple things that led up to the decision. You know, that we were kind of already on the fence, but you know, we didn't want to have to do anything just off the wall, especially with a show in 3 days. But I mean, there was just some things that, you know, went down, not saying anything in particular, that kind of forced the decision on us.
I couldn't agree more. I think it was very spur of the moment. It wasn't something that we wanted to do. It's something that we felt like we had to do in order to continue to progress in a lot of ways. And it's just one of those things that kind of happens with bands. And we wish Jacob the best. You know, we hope he continues on in music because he's a great drummer.
Yeah, I'd still love to do. I mean, he's a great dude, and I really think that, you know, he's got a lot of potential to really do some great stuff in his life. But it wasn't working out. It just wasn't. Just some decisions that was made just wasn't copacetic for the rest of us.
That's fair.
Very hard, tough decision, but it was one that needed to be made.
Nobody wanted to do it, really, but it is what it is.
Josh, your mom says hello to all of her kids. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
She's declared herself officially the Dying Oath mom.
I mean, isn't she though?
Well, yes.
You ever watch her live? She's always got a Dying Oath shirt on. It's some of the coolest shit ever.
I know, I dig it. I watch it. I just wore that.
She told me Saturday night that she was, you know, every time she does her little live stream thing, that she always gives us a shout out and everything. So that's
always rocking merch or something like that. It's awesome to see, man. Thanks, Mom. Love you.
We all love you.
Yeah, all of our moms for putting up with our stuff, and our dads and our girlfriends and wives and our friends, because this is it's a hard life for everybody, but thank you to everybody that puts up with our crap and loves us anyway.
There's a lot from Linus.
But we are extremely excited to introduce Gage to the band. He is a wonderful person. Gage, say hi.
Hey everybody, I'm Gage. In case you hadn't figured that out yet, with my name right there. But
While we're on the subject, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, like what you did before this and your background in drumming and whatnot, so they can kind of get to know you as a person.
Sure. Well, buckle up, I guess. I've pretty much been playing drums for most of my life. You know, I did a lot of like marching band and high school, and then I toured with a few metal bands right out of high school, and then I sort of fell out of the metal scene for almost a decade. Was working doing dinner theater shows, and I had, you know, kind of a few bands throughout the years, but it's really cool to be back playing metal again. Honestly, I've missed it for a long time, so thanks for having me.
We're thrilled, dude. We really are. We're thrilled that you managed to pick it up as fast as you did. Like I said, when we made the switch, I mean, you had 3 days. We did 2 practices, and you still knocked it out of the park. I mean, there was a few, you know, imperfections to be expected, but for the most part, I mean, I was blown away. And everybody that I talked to was absolutely blown away. Yeah.
I actually had been a avid fan of Gage for the last few years. I met him a few years back, and I've pretty much followed everything that he's done, so I feel very honored to have him in the band. So thank you for wanting to team up with us. You're amazing.
That's awesome. That means a lot. I appreciate it. I'm stoked about it. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. No doubt, man.
Name of the game.
Absolutely.
For sure.
All right, so
You did so well.
we have some comments. The next question was, how long have you guys been playing outside the member changes? A little over a year now, I guess.
Something like that.
With the full lineup, and now, of course, we've had Gage for a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, in the early days of the band, you know, there was just 3 of us, and we'd swap out a couple people here, we'd bring somebody in. You know, they would be gone after a couple months, things wouldn't work out. You know, another vocalist hung out with us for, you know, several months, and that didn't work out, so we knocked him out. You know, we really didn't take it seriously, I guess until Mindy and Matney came in. We completed the lineup, and we could actually, you know, produce the type of music that we wanted to do. So I consider that really the beginning of it. So yeah, I mean, I guess about a year and a couple months, just a little over a year. Yeah.
Okay. Jason says, lineup changes can suck. So how did you find a ninja to replace your drummer on such short notice? And how did Gage get the tunes down so quickly to pull off the Helheim show?
We sold our soul for him.
That's exactly what happened. Sacrifices and everything.
I can at least handle the second half of that. I will say, doing the dinner theater gig for so long, how that works is you sort of go into rehearsal for these shows about two to 2.5 weeks before the show actually opens, and those shows are usually anywhere from 50 to 70 songs a piece that you're having to learn. So really, when you kind of take that into perspective, this really wasn't so much different. You know, 6-7 songs in 3 days versus 60 songs in 2 weeks, not all that different. So I was kind of familiar with that atmosphere anyway, just kind of the cramming it all in. And, you know, I have a method of being able to learn stuff like that quickly. It's all about, you know, kind of taking notes that I know that I can understand. And then just reps more than anything, just listening to those tunes and playing those tunes as many times as possible in those 2 days. Is pretty much how I pulled it off.
Okay, so I'll handle the beginning part of this, but before I do, we got a comment, Matney, that you look like you're doing terrible things in the background, so I want to explain that he's cooking.
All right, hold on. I can play favorite.
Really bad. Not gonna lie. He's cooking.
Oh, God.
I'm in the middle of my honeydew list right now, and I've not had time to get anything done, so I'm trying to
Tell you what it looked like you were doing, okay? Just to point that out to everybody else.
Oh, sweet.
Anyway, to handle the first part of that question, we actually all knew Gage, and we had talked to him about, he got me all screwed up. Okay, I'm trying to get my head right. Okay, no, we had talked to him about possibly helping us out with a couple of other things, you know, giving us advice on production, stuff like that. You know, we were all friends, and we thought about all of our people that we could maybe find as a replacement, and we contacted him, and he agreed. So
Right place at the right time for me, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Adam says he's dying laughing because of the matinee incident.
Love you, Adam. I'm so sorry.
Just strutting around his kitchen with a knife. It's
Yeah.
casual.
All I could see was
You
the
can put that over and just peek in on that. Okay, there we go.
At least, yeah, stay in frame so we can see what you're doing, Maddie.
Oh, hold on a second, I'll fix that.
And the Grim Reaper here says, who are some of your major influences? I think we should kind of go around the circle on this. I'm actually curious
Yeah.
myself.
That's probably an individual, yeah.
All right, Josh, you go first.
My influences, biggest one was probably my uncle when I was a kid, man. I never even thought about picking up an instrument, but he was always playing different things, playing banjo, playing guitar. And I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. When I was 16, I ended up getting a guitar, and that's where my influences really started to shape up. I was listening to things like Disturbed and Godsmack. I started getting into more like Iron Maiden stuff. Like one of the first songs I learned to play was Spirit of the Dark, man. I still jam. But eventually, man, I really got into like more of the 2000s metalcore scene. Like I picked up the Roadrunner United sessions and was just absolutely blown away, especially by one artist that was on there that I'd never heard of, Matt Heafy. So I looked up his band, Trivium, and that just started it all, man. I was blown away. I picked up Ascendancy and just burned that thing up. And then I discovered like All That Remains, followed by Deals of Steel. Just, oh my God, it's incredible. Got into As I Lay Dying, stuff like that. Other than that, man, I've kind of stuck to that genre too. You can probably tell by the stuff that I write. Also, I really haven't taken a whole lot of influence from newer things. I'm kind of stuck in this 2000s metalcore bubble. That's pretty much it, though.
Feel that?
So, going around the room here, Endicott, what about you?
That always falls between Bullet for My Valentine for me. It was always back to the Live at Brixton DVD for me. That was when I was really starting to get into more metalcore and new metal and everything else like that. And seeing Matt Tuck on stage with that kick-ass Jackson V was what that was it. It cemented it. I was like, I want to do that. Have the cool guitar and be on stage.
Yeah. Okay, Jet?
Well, it definitely started with my grandmother. Just an introduction to music. She would sing around the house all the time. So that started. Later on, it was really a System of a Down. I like the weirdness that comes from it, and I think it's beautiful when you put it towards music. And I mean, that's why they're as famous as they are today, because there's something very unique. And then I guess to metalcore, I honestly have to give that to Killswitch Engage. They were one of the very few that I listened to the most in the genre, and they've always blown me away with their music.
Okay, I gotta ask. Okay, Jesse, Howard.
Howard. It was Howard.
Gotcha.
All right, Matinee, care to jump?
When I first started listening to new metal and whatnot, it actually started with Shadows Fall. One of my first favorite songs by them was The Light That Blinds and that whole The War Within album. Then I started looking deeper into it and got into bands like All That Remains, Bullet for My Valentine, Killswitch Engage. Then just started growing. I found, Demon Hunter, Children of Bodom, but it all comes back to Shadows Fall for me. So wanting to be able to play like that is what made me want to do it.
Answer. All right, Gage. I can't wait to hear yours.
Yeah, so for me growing up, I've always listened to heavy stuff. I was a really big Clutch fan, Deftones, Tool. That was kind of my top three when I was growing up. And then I sort of branched off for a little while, and I really got into more like funk and that more kind of stuff. I listened to like a lot of Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson and stuff like that. But when it comes to the heavy stuff, I was always really into the breakdown metalcore. I'm really big on August Burns Red, Between the Buried and Me, For Today, Texas in July, like those kind of guys. I always really enjoyed that kind of really technical breakdown metal. And I also take a ton of influences just from all my marching band stuff. So like orchestral and jazz, and I'm really into all that too.
Right on. For me, I guess if you guys know me at all, my biggest influence, of course, is Joan Jett. I'm into a little bit of everything from like Journey to A Day to Remember. I love the blues. Beth Hart is amazing. Joe Bonamassa, to name a few. Kitty and Cold are probably my two favorite bands other than A Day to Remember. Man, I like so much, from like opera to blues to, I even like a little bit of country, but it has to be old country. I don't like this new stuff at all. So
Good answer.
Right on. Cool.
all right, so before we get back to the questions on the live chat, Adam actually sent a message and wanted to know when new music is coming out. We're working on it. That's all I can say. We just got something back from the studio, and we're going to work on getting some stuff to promote that as well before we put it out. And then we'll go from there. If you guys are musicians, you understand the process. It's long. But we're working on
Well,
it.
you think from what I've heard, oh my God, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. You're in for a treat.
That's true.
Okay, so we've got some more live chat stuff here. How did we come up with the name Dying Oath?
I'm curious about this one myself.
You guys want to take it? I'm totally down.
Well, I don't know how it originated because, I wasn't in the band at the time. It was already kind of set in stone before it came along. So that's kind of a you question, Josh. I can tell you what it means, but I don't know how it started.
I can give you a really corny breakdown of how we came up with it. I've always seen a lot of band names come about with just taking two words and putting them together. There's something is doing something, and it's funny how it works out, but it does. And we pretty much took like a list of cool words and just put two of them together. Well, we ended up seeing Dying Oath, and I remember we were in band chat talking about it. I was like, wow, that sounds really cool, and we started thinking about the implications of just the phrase Dying Oath, and how it really seems like something that we're all striving for, how we really want to play music, and we're making it our dying oath to just do everything we can to do it as best as possible to try to be as successful as we can at it. It just kind of branched out from there. It was really kind of goofy beginning, but it really turned into something that meant a lot to all of us.
I agree. That was a perfect answer,
a great
actually.
answer.
Also, Josh, your grandmother says hi.
You said what?
Your grandmother says hello to everybody.
Watching too. Welcome. My whole family's on. Love you, Granny.
My lug nut said, "What's up, everyone? Glad to see everyone is doing good."
What's happening there, Love?
What is up, dude? Hey, are you still playing this on your live streams?
Also, where's the next place that we are going to be playing, and how much does it cost? Because they want to announce it on live feed tonight.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Coyote Egley, October 10th, $10 to get in.
Yep.
That is in Salisbury.
Salisbury, North Carolina. With some killer bands, man. Noxus, Push the Attack, and Midnight Massacre. That's going to be a stacked show.
They're gonna
That's gonna be fun.
have some gnarly steaks down there too. So if anybody's hungry, it's a place to be.
Agreed. Reese says Modern Testament and Insomniac are absolute bangers. Of the songs we haven't heard yet, what is everyone's personal favorite and why? So the unreleased songs, what is your favorite?
Watch the World Burn.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. You can't ask me that. Come on. It's kind of interesting too. Before we really get into it, those two were released as singles. Like the original plan was to do like a 6-song EP, and we were just gonna release a couple singles. But bands usually they'll release what they think will be the strongest song as a single to really represent the EP or the album. Those just happen to be the two that we had finished. Those are by no means what I feel would probably be the best on there. They're both killer tunes, man. But I mean, personally, between Watch the World Burn, End of Days. I mean, if you've seen our live show, you've probably heard them all already anyway. But those two are probably my favorites.
I think End of Days for me, which is really exciting because we're gonna release all of them separately, and they all have their different stories or whatnot. But End of Days for me was a great story, and I can't wait to release that one.
That's the one I really got to see you evolve on. The previous recordings we'd done. You were fantastic on them, but you just on End of Days you just let it out, dude. I mean, and I'm blown away still every time I listen to it. Damn, dude.
I think that's why I'm so excited, because it shows more progress for my personal self than anything else.
I mean, it's so good that it almost makes me want to go back and retrack Modern Testament and Insomniac. I mean, it's just, oh man, especially with the addition of the new drums. Yeah, I feel like they could be even better. Just saying.
Okay, so my Lugnut says, that new song you're talking about or new stuff going straight to Spotify, or is there going to be a waiting time?
Does he mean, what does he mean? I didn't really understand.
I'm guessing once we release it, are we going to release it straight from Spotify, or are we going to wait to do that later? But I'd say that we'll probably just go ahead and release it everywhere at one time, as usual.
It kind of depends. We're really trying to get the track out, and Spotify, I don't know if you guys have ever used any kind of distribution service, CD Baby or DistroKid or anything like that. But a lot of times there's a pretty long waiting period, especially now with COVID, where everybody is at home writing music. I mean, the waiting time's up to like 3 weeks to a month at times now. So I'm really torn on what to do in that situation, because we want to get the music out for you guys, but at the same time, we want to do it right. So we're trying to figure out if we should, release it and, just put a video of it on YouTube and, just do that while we're waiting for it to finish approval through CD Baby to hit Spotify and iTunes and Amazon Music, all of that. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't answer that.
To see how it works out. Also, Josh, they say they can't see you. You're in the dark, so you need to turn some.
Oh, is it too dark in here? Yeah, it was light originally. Let me try and find something.
All right. Next question: are there any plans to drop a CD? I think that we are going to release this time around anyway a compilation after we have released each single on its own, because we think that they're all so good that we don't want to just release 1 or 2 songs and just put the album out. So instead, we're going to release each song separately, and then we're going to put out a compilation disc for whoever might want them all together at one time. Maybe a full length later on. We're working on that.
Considering a vinyl at this point, man, you heard vinyl has outsold CDs recently. I mean,
Yeah.
that might be something to look into.
Also, Josh, the question that you asked earlier to my Lugnuts, he says he hasn't been streaming much. He's just been working on getting everything started up at the UPS job. So,
Gotcha.
Actually, Gabby said she's going to make it out to see us at some point soon.
That's a long drive.
And Jess is throwing up the metal horns. Hi, Jess. Thank you for our biggest fans. You're awesome. All right, Jason says, you guys are really in for an overflow of love and support from the Carolina Headbangers on Halloween. Are you dressing up? I wore my pink bunny suit on stage last year. Are we going to dress up? Have we thought about that?
I'm doing something.
I'm
I've got a pretty good idea. It's not going to be nothing super
Thinking maybe like
extravagant,
the
but it's going to be pretty
Teletubbies.
cool. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bunnies and clowns all the way.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome too. I'm really blown away by how much love we've gotten from just the North Carolina scene in general, man. I was, kind of nervous about that. I know that, that scene down there. I mean, if you're not on top of your game, you're gone. And those guys are just phenomenal. Every band that I see come out of North Carolina is just unreal. So to be able to, be welcomed in with open arms like that is just really humbling, man. It really is. Those dudes are killer down there. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to play North Carolina. I can't wait.
That's home to me. I know that, we live in Virginia and the Pit is our home place, but to me, like, in all the bands that I've ever played in, there's more of a scene in North Carolina. So I have more musician friends and more venues out there that I find is home to me. So North Carolina represents.
Yeah, well, it seems like there was kind of this misconception, that, and it's kind of touching on what I said earlier. It seems like, I swear, that the Virginia scene is a little bit more competitive than North Carolina, man. I mean, they're such great dudes. They welcome you in with open arms. You gotta support the scene. You gotta have good music. You gotta be tight. But as long as you're serious about what you're doing and you support and you love everything about it, man. I mean, there's some of the greatest dudes ever.
Lots of unity in North Carolina for sure.
Yeah, I love it, man. I really do.
Okay, this next question is for me, from Jimmy. How long did it take you to learn to scream, and were you coached? I was never coached. I did ask a lot of my friends who were vocalists on pointers and whatnot, because I did want to learn how to do it properly. And then I started watching videos and, buying sessions and stuff like that to kind of teach me the ropes. And then after I learned, I just kind of put my own take on it. And I'm still progressing to this day. I'm still trying to perfect my art. But it took me about a year to actually learn and perfect what I was doing. I've been screaming, I guess, for about 5 years now. So I must be doing it right because I still have a voice.
It seems like every month you're progressing too. Like every time we're recording something new, there's something new that you're doing too. It's cool to watch that progression and that transformation.
I owe all of that to you guys. I really do. I think that when you're doing music that you're passionate about, it pushes you to the depths that you never even thought that you could make it to. And I was really complacent. And Josh is like, hey, you can do better than this. And I'm like, all right, smart ass. Okay, we'll see.
All right, bet, dude.
So, yeah, it's been a wild ride, man, but I hope to only progress more. I've been studying a lot more lately, and people are saying my live shows are getting better and whatnot. So the studying and the hard work pays off. So whatever it is that you're doing out there, man, just work hard at it and you'll get better. That's, my best advice.
Yeah, it's like what I was telling you earlier about your live performance, man. It's really, really progressing at a quick rate. Like, like I told you before, I'd seen you in some other bands, and you had a lot of good stage presence stuff, but you really didn't seem to have a whole lot of energy. Like you really wasn't too into what you were doing, or you were maybe bored with it or something. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but like the show at the Pit last weekend. I mean, you were just fantastic. And I mean, the videos and the pictures, they don't even do justice, and those are fantastic too.
Thank you.
I'm just blown up. I really am. I'm proud. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
And honestly, I've been lucky and I've been fortunate enough to more or less run the roads and everything with Mindy and some of her previous bands, and
My roadie.
being able to play in a couple of them with her. And back then, you look and you go, wow, this is cool. She's good. And then seeing how much she's progressed now with Dying Oath, I'm like, I didn't know you had it in you. I didn't know you could go that much better.
Dude,
It's very impressive.
I didn't either, but thank you guys so much. I love you guys. I really aim to just make you guys proud. That's my number one priority. I love the fans, and I want them to like what I'm doing as well. But you guys, that's all I want in life is, make you guys proud, because we're in this together. So Okay.
Look, man, the sky's the limit.
I love you guys so much. Okay. Is the instrument you play in the band the instrument you actually started or planned on playing? Josh?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've invested way too much money in guitar and guitar amps and speakers and all that crap to decide to do anything else. There's no way.
How about you, Endicott? I already know the answer, but tell everybody what you started out doing.
Yeah, his is kind of interesting story. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah. Started out middle school band. I played the saxophone. And I made it to our first concert, and I got too nervous to go on stage, so I quit and went to chorus.
Did not know that. So what were you doing in Dying Oath before you played guitar?
I ended up playing drums first. Eventually, I moved on to the guitar, and I played guitar since I was about 13. A friend of mine forgot his a long time ago, and I sat on it for about 6 months playing it and trying to learn songs and everything. Eventually, came back and got it, but I got my first guitar, and the rest was history from there. I love guitar. Been playing, I guess, a little over 15, 20 years now.
See, I learn something new every day, too. What about you, Gage?
Oh
Were you
yeah,
all-
I'm born and bred skin slapper. There was no way around it. Yeah, I didn't have a chance.
When did you start playing? Weren't you like 8 or 9?
I was probably about 8 years old when I first kind of started dabbling. I didn't really start taking it seriously till like middle school band, and that's like what, 11, 12, something like that. And then it just sort of ramped up from there all through my teen years, and then I was pretty locked in at that point.
No. Matney?
Actually, my first was guitar. I was about 12, 13 years old, and my mom and daddy got me a Fender Squier from like FYE for like $100, and started learning how to play, and then got into high school, and then started learning bass. And ever since then, I've just been playing bass for on and off for about 13, 14 years, but didn't really get serious with it till like the last 5.
Good to know. Debbie, were you always a vocalist? Tell us.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Singing pretty much my whole life. Started real young with like stupid little talent shows in the elementary school, all the music classes. And then really in high school, it was I did a bunch of musicals and talent shows and shit like that. And then finally, my family.
So cute. Okay. Believe it or not, I started on clarinet. I was a band geek as well. Nothing wrong with that, man. I mean, it is what it is. I've been singing my entire life, but started out on clarinet, and then I got a guitar, and then I was a bass player and a backup vocalist for about 9 years. And somebody said, "Hey, you're pretty good. You should just sing," and that's it. And the rest is history. I showed up to an audition and became a front woman, and since then, I don't want to carry instruments. I'm lazy, so
It's kind of a dick thing to say to somebody. Hey, maybe you should sing, and that's it.
Well, it wasn't exactly like that. It was just, you're too good of a singer not to actually be in front somewhere, because, the bass players always kind of hide in the back a little bit, and you do your vocals in between here and there, and you just kind of hide your face and headbang a little bit. But now I actually have to look pretty and do things,
That's right. You got to put the context in now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but looking pretty for you is not really that hard to do, so.
Oh, I love you.
Look out for this guy.
What is it that you want? Is he kissing my butt right now? All right, let's get back to this.
I only realized I said 20 years when I was answering that question. I was trying to answer too fast.
That's okay. We know you can't do math.
Josh,
Is it
your
basically-
mom says she wants to go to our next show, but you should pick her up. So you should do that.
Who does?
Your mom wants to go to our show. Huh, your mom.
Which means you have to be a good boy this time.
I mean, we can do that.
Jimmy says, I'm amazing. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it. Charlie says, will you guys be making more videos like you did in Insomniac? Do we plan to make more videos?
I would like to. We've had this discussion before.
I want to make a video.
Yeah, it's definitely in the plans. We'll have to see how everything works out and whatnot, but can't really tell you what songs we're going to be choosing to do videos for because that's going to give some stuff away. But we are planning to do videos and yeah, stuff of that nature. So it's coming. We just got to wait it out a little bit.
Yeah. By my way, we have a video for every song.
True.
I believe that content pushes the song. I believe that, putting out a really good song with zero content with it is just setting it up for failure, personally. That's just my look on it.
Visuals always helps the audio.
Yeah.
For sure.
Even if it's just, like a cheap lyric video, just some kind of content to push with it, something to really promote it.
Jeb, who are your major vocal influences?
Well, like stated before, since Storm Down, Surge, I think it's very unique. Surprisingly, it kind of switches off. It's not all in the metal genre, but like Brandon Urie, love his vocals. Amy Lee is definitely one of them. Just all sorts of different places that I found it. Lead singer of Yellow Card, I think his were amazing. Just everywhere, little pieces of every corner of the world of music.
Jimmy said he would like for me to do some serotonin stuff. I'm actually up to collaborate. I'm actually doing some collaborations with some other bands. I can't let that leak out right now yet until they release the music. But I am doing some with a handful of bands. So we'll talk about that later on, Jimmy, but I'm always down to collaborate. Just hit me up. Ryan, who are your major bass influences? Matten.
Eric Clapton, Ryan Martini, the bass player from Lamb of God, whose name always tends to slip my mind. Steve's he's got a really hard name for me to pronounce, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Steve DeGorio. It's for the different styles, in my opinion, that each song has. It kind of tends to weigh me back and forth to how I want to play it. So I started thinking of how I can make it sound the same but different in each.
That's a good answer. Okay. How did you guys come together and how long have you been playing? I guess I'll take this because I know Josh is tired of answering this question. Josh and Endicott, of course, had been playing together forever. And they brought in Jacob, who was our other drummer, and then Jeb. And then they wanted another vocalist, and so they brought me in. And then I brought Ryan along because we were already in a band together, so it just kind of fit. And we've been together for a little over a year now. The rest is pretty much history. Hopefully many, many more years to come.
Yeah, the new member change just happened just a few days ago. So.
Yeah.
Killing my ass. I'm going to stand up for a minute.
Bloody T Animal 1 PS4 said, Jeb, can I sell you my soul for your Mustang?
It's a soul, man. That's a pretty good deal.
That's the problem, is that like the value is
Oh,
Is your soul worth a Mustang?
You will strike a contract or something.
But in the end, it could work out for you. I mean, if you really can't take the soul out of a person, you may wind up with like a personal slave for the rest of your life. I mean,
That's true.
Do you cook and clean, and will you cuddle me at night?
Questions. We're looking for answers here.
All right.
Reese says, any chance fans may be a part of a future music video? Actually, we hadn't really thought about that, but that's a really good idea. Maybe for our next video, we can get some people in. Getting fans to come in on our next music video.
Oh, yeah?
that'd be cool.
Would be awesome.
If so, we'll definitely put it on the family. See if you guys want to come and do that. I mean, I guess if people are willing to drive to the location or whatnot, it doesn't hurt to have actual fans in our audience. So, not a bad idea.
Yeah, you could do like a concept video, but also have cuts to like a live scene almost.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I've always had this dream of doing a music video where the whole thing starts in the bands. It's kind of in like an empty warehouse. It's very dimly lit, right? But then like in the windows, you start seeing like people like kind of moving past the windows and stuff like that. Then eventually they come breaking the door down, and it's a zombie video, right? And so they all come in, and then one by one the band members get taken down by zombies, and at the end of it, you got the breakdown where everybody's a zombie, and it's just zombies bouncing. You know, I don't know.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
so essentially, kind of like Thriller meets
Yeah,
Slipknot. Duality.
yeah, exactly.
Cool. We'll take that into account. It's not a bad idea.
I like that.
Hey, I know where we could find some zombies.
I'll bet there's some zombies around.
We have a practice, that's for sure. I've was a zombie at the haunt for many years, so we've had a lot of practice. Hellheim Haunt, everybody, by the way, check it out.
Absolutely.
Which actually starts this Friday, 7:30.
Yes, and that's also where our home venue is, the Pit. So one thing helps run the other, so check that out. Keep us running so that we can have more shows and keep the haunt going, for sure.
The hunt, there is no pit. So.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Shirley says, I love the lyrics that you did for Insomniac. I hope that you do more lyric videos. So we'll definitely have to do that for the fans, Josh.
Yeah, I love her. Josh, can I have her?
No, absolutely not. She's a band mom anyway. She's overall.
Someone spray him with a water bottle, please.
Okay, so while we're waiting on more questions, you guys go ahead and put those below. But while we're waiting, I think we should talk about our endorsements, because without them, you know, a lot of things would not be possible. So I'm going to name off a couple of our endorsements, and then we'll chat about what we like about them. So, gosh, we have like 10 of them now. We've got Alloy X Clothing. We have Threadbare, Convicted Printing, Explore Apparel, Maverick Clothing Company, Dirtbag Clothing. We have Pig Hog Cables.
Yes.
And WB Gear, which is Intune and, gosh, a slew of other things.
Yeah, there's several things you get.
Josh, I'll let you go first. Let you talk about Pig Hog and WB, since those are your two endorsements.
Yeah, definitely. Pig Hog, man. I discovered those cables a while back, okay? I'm always looking for a decent cable. Most people don't think about it. Everybody's always like, well, you know, I want a good guitar endorsement. I want a cab, something like that. But one thing that, you know, you really go through a lot, something that you really have to rely on and that you depend on is cables. And, you know, I've went through a bunch, you know, I've tried several different cables. I don't want to name any names or that, but I ended up stumbling upon Big Hog cables on Amazon. Actually, I was just browsing through, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Those look awesome. Price isn't too bad. They're a little more, but they're made in the USA. You know, they're built like tanks. So, you know, I got a couple of them, and dude, I fell in love with them. I've yet to have an issue with them. Very first cable that I got from them, I still use. Yeah, and it's been put through hell. So I've pretty much replaced every cable in my rig with Big Hog cables, and you know, I've supported the shit out of them for a while anyway. You know, I wrote up a big review on my Facebook page. You know, just supporting the hell out of them, and eventually, you know, they reached out and then we worked out a deal. You know, they helped me out. I helped them out. You know, it's really cool being able to, you know, be represented by a company that you already know and love, you know, that makes a product that you've already used for a while, that you don't plan on swapping from, and that you trust 100% on stage. You know, I love those guys. The other one was a little bit different. I'm trying to remember exactly what Hoogie did. I can't remember right off. But he ended up starting this thing. He works with, I think, 10 or 11 different companies, and smaller bands and artists can go directly through him and get discounts on some of these products, like Sit Strings, Intune picks, I think even Rev amplification, just a ton of different things. And you know, it really helps you out because it's things that, you know, you really don't think about a whole lot that really starts to add up in price. So being able to get just a little bit of discount off of that saves money, you know, so that we can put it towards other things like promoting the songs, you know, production, videos, all the other stuff we can bring you guys. So all that helps out a lot.
Absolutely. And I want to talk a little bit about Haunted Honeymooners. That's actually our first and our major endorsement, I would say. They've done so much for us. You can actually on the opening of their show. If you haven't checked it out, please go to Haunted Honeymooners and check out what they're doing. They have one called Frighteningly Metal, which they have on all different types of musicians from all over. And then, of course, they have their other podcast, which is where they talk about haunts. And I think that they go hand in hand, and we fit that perfectly because, of course, we love haunts and we love metal. So shout out to them. We love you guys. Thank you for all the stuff you do for us. And we just picked up 2 new endorsements with Threadbare and Convicted Printing, who do everything from shirts to patches, a little bit of everything that you can think of. So a lot of our merch is going to be coming from them. So shout out to those guys for making things a lot easier on us. Anybody want to talk about any of the other endorsements?
I endorse you, Mindy.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Feel the same about you. All right. We've got, of course, Dirtbag and Maverick and Explore and Alloy X. They're all clothing companies, but they all do a ton for musicians all over, between giving us discounts on our own clothing to, you know, Dirtbag does everything from videos to podcasts, interviews, anything that you can think of within the industry. They help out with that. Just getting our name out, promoting not only themselves, but all the musicians around the world that, you know, are under them. And of course, Maverick.
It's cool when people featured on their page too. They're like right there on their page now.
Absolutely. I've been a fan of Dirtbag over the years. I've tried to hold an endorsement with them for every band because they do so much for their musicians. So if you haven't done that yet and you're a musician, look into Dirtbag, because they will, anything that you can think of, they can do it to help you. They do lyric videos, a whole slew of things. I don't even have the time to tell you all the things that they do. Maverick is the same way. They even do a management team. If you need management or a PR company, they do a little bit of everything. And then we have Alloy X, who is also in the same company with Alloy Radio, who has done a ton for us as well. So we've got some really good endorsements that not only give us discounts on things, which is amazing. And it helps because, we're starving artists and all. But also, they do a lot of behind the scenes stuff that they don't get enough credit for. So we'd like to thank all of our donors.
One other thing I want to mention too, it's not necessarily an endorsement, but this dude has helped us out a lot with questions, and just helping us get our socials together. Mr. Will Baker, man, that dude has been phenomenal as far as, anytime we have a question about, how should we do this, what's a good decision to make here, that dude's been right there. And I can't thank him enough for it. Even just a couple of days ago, when he was posting about us and Oxus, how we're out there grinding. And it means so much to see that. If you haven't, checked out Eye to Eye Records, Hollow Intent, he's the vocalist for Hollow Intent. Check those guys out. Check him out. He's a killer dude, man.
He also does work with artists. So if you guys need any help out there, or you need advice, he also, of course, has Eye to Eye Records, which will help put out some good music. But he's out there for anything you might need. If you contact him, he'll work something out for you. His prices are great, and his advice is even better. And if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have made it this far. So check that guy out.
I agree. And he actually had an interview on Honey. I was on Honeymooner's Friday metal page. So yeah, it's kind of cool how it intertwines,
Absolutely. Also, want to give a big shout out to Adam Silbach, because he not only gave us our first show, but he's doing all kinds of stuff behind the scenes here in our local scene, between putting shows together. He messages us and gives us advice on things. He's pretty much our go-to for anything that we need. Him and Will have been great to us. So huge thank you to those guys.
Oh yeah, I mean, it really shows the importance of networking and really developing relationships with people. And just putting your name out there and trying to get in touch with people that can help you and help them. So just really everybody working hand in hand to try to progress the scene in Tribuna, because nobody's going to do it on their own. You got to have help at some point or another. And these guys have just been phenomenal. Like you said, Adam Silbach, he's just been unreal. He gave us the first show. Without him, we wouldn't have played that show. And I think that's really what set things in motion for us.
We may not have even been playing shows at this point if it wasn't for him. We hadn't really planned to, and he's like, you guys are good enough to go ahead and just jump out there, head first. And
I mean, all the guys in Interior Design are killer too, man. I mean, big shout out to Mr. James Huff for getting the Solar Guitars endorsement, man. I'm so freaking proud of that, man. Dude, that's killer. I'm just blown away to see people in the local Southwest Virginia scene receive endorsements like that, and really get to live their dreams with the instruments that they love. Man, it's inspiring.
Absolutely, and I just kind of want to touch base on some of our local bands around here that have really helped us in a lot of ways. Villains Over Heroes, Brian has helped us out with the podcast and helps promote in all kinds of ways. One of our biggest fans, I feel. We've got Villains Over Heroes, Push the Attack. Of course, Interior Design has been huge in helping us get promoted and building this scene with us, which has been amazing.
Master, asking if we want to jump on the show with him, man. That's a big help to us, man. The scene helping the scene.
Yeah, Midnight Massacre has definitely helped out a lot of bands on getting shows and whatnot. We've got Sever the Wicked, which, those guys are like our brothers, and all the Mad guys. We're in a music club that has extremely helped us in a lot of ways. So shout out to Travis and Jack for all the good stuff that you've been doing for us. Gosh, there are so many to name.
There really is.
Big shout out to Haymaker as well.
I was gonna say Haymaker though.
Haymaker, yeah, they've been a help getting us on any show that they get and wanting to be on shows that we're a part of and staying over at the house and just hanging out and just being great guys and good family all the way around for sure. As well as Noxus. Noxus has been with us from the very beginning, promoting and putting our stuff on their page and anything that they can do to help. Those guys have been right there. Reese especially is, one of our main dudes. So
okay.
one greatly.
Which is a great band name too, by the way. Noxus. I just love that.
Right. Super heavy. Hollow Intent also. Will and those guys always promoting and trying to help out not just our band, but tons of other bands. Any other favorites for you guys? I know we've got a ton. I mean, there's a list of probably 1,000 that we absolutely adore, but
Low Down Dirty the other night. I thought Low Down Dirty was amazing the other night. If y'all haven't checked them out, you definitely should.
yeah, they were phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And also Annabelle Lee.
And absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that last show, that was phenomenal. I mean,
They were amazing.
I saw them live, and I was blown away. All right.
On a side note, it looks like Josh has made a new friend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, shout out to Written in Gray. Those guys have been a huge help to us, as well as Stavergen. You know, they were helping us when we were releasing the single, wanting to help down with the countdown, and always there if I needed advice or anything like that. Constantly sharing our stuff. So shout out to those guys as well as Push Button Apocalypse. Those are our dudes as well. But we couldn't do it with all of these without all the bands in the scene. Man, there's so many. And there's, of course, Darker the Heart, which isn't out yet, but they're getting things together, so keep an eye out on that. It's another huge band that's going to be coming to the scene soon.
Yeah, big shout out to Angels and Demons for hooking me up with free CD too. I wasn't expecting to get it. You know, I messaged Chris, and you know, I knew they had a new CD. I was like, "Hey man, how do I get a hold of that?" He's like, "Well, hang on, what's your address?" So, you know, they had it posted $5 a piece, which, you know, is no big problem. You know, I could, you know, support the guys and send them money. You know, I really wasn't expecting to get it free, but I checked the mail today, and right there it was. So I was jamming that in the car on the way here. Freaking killer.
For sure, and definitely want to give a shout out here as of late. We've had a lot of help and advice. Myself personally, we got Fams and the Hooligans. Been talking to Steven a lot lately. Also, Blood Run. Those guys have not only been huge fans and supporters, but good friends as well. I'm an alien. Always right on our tails. Doing it.
Can you guys hear this cat?
Yes.
Yes,
It's
sir.
just loving this.
He has made a friend.
Also, Serotonin. Jimmy's been great about.
I love that guy, man.
Yeah.
I so glad I finally got to meet him. They got a show coming up. Like I probably shouldn't even mention it. I can't remember what it was or when it's going to be, but yeah, they've got a show coming up. Check it out on the page. I think we're playing with who is it? Push Button Apocalypse and somebody else. I feel like an idiot for not remembering, but I still wanted to give some kind of shout
I
out.
think there might have been a couple new ones on it though that I hadn't seen either.
There's so many, man. It's hard to keep up with them. The scene is just exploding right now, and I love it. Which, you know, is kind of mind blowing because of, you know, COVID and everything going on with all of that. But, you know, the scene's still alive and well. Seems like with all of the, come on, Cat, really?
For sure. And before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Seasons as well, man. They're giving us our first national show. They've been sharing everything. Maddie has been giving me lots of advice and pointers on things and really been pushing us. So shout out to Seasons as well. Lots
So,
of
I've never really sat and thought about it, you know, about, you know, all of the support, you know, and it's wild to sit and think about, you know, just all of a sudden all these different names just come into your head, like, geez, it's just a huge network.
It is, and I wish I could, you know, wish I had the time to name them all, but there's been so many bands that have influenced me personally and or helped me out along the years to get me to where I am, as well as Dying Oath. You know, there are so many bands out there right now that are rooting for us, and we appreciate it, man, because we're rooting for you guys too. Like, we want everybody to succeed as a whole, because that's the only way it's going to work, is if we're helping one another and being a family. So we appreciate everybody that's helped us get shows and giving us pointers and just checked out our stuff, man. That's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Me personally, I mean, you guys covered all the bands and everybody that's helped us out and whatnot, and very, very thankful for all them and the advice and everything that they've helped us out with. Me personally, I want to give a shout out to all the fans and the Dying Oath family, the love, the support, and everything that they gave us. There's no way we could have got this big, just being able to do what we do. And when I personally open up the family page and I see just a random person wearing a Dying Oath shirt or one of the bandanas or bracelets or something, that's a very heartwarming feeling for me. So, thank you guys so much for the love and support that you all do for us.
Absolutely. And definitely want to thank our PR. They've helped us a lot in the last couple of months. Also, all the groups that we're a part of have pushed us hardcore. You got the Unsigned Metal Depot, you got the Carolina Headbangers, the Metal Lab. There are too many for me to name, but you guys know who you are. Like, we couldn't do this without you. And the biggest shout out right now I'd like to give is to our merch girl / hair makeup photographer, Tabby, because she not only puts up with our crap, but she runs our merch, and she does a lot of behind the scenes stuff, helping us with promo. She runs the fog machine, which is her favorite thing to do. She'll tell you that, but huge shout out to her for all the stuff that she does. She's not even actually in the band, but we feel like she is because she does just as much work. So definitely appreciate her.
Yeah, and everybody giving us, airplay. I mean, I really want to give a big one to Big Jim, man, WBJR, Outsider Radio, the local legends segment, man. That's cool. He plays the hell out of us, man. I appreciate every single time. Metal Empire Radio, on that. All the playlists that have added us to it. I mean, it's unreal. Come on, Kat, really?
There's really been so many, and maybe next time we'll make a list and be more prepared, but every single person that has helped us, whether it be production-wise or just being a fan and listening to our stuff and promoting or buying a shirt, coming to a show, or, anything that you guys have done to help us promote ourselves. Like, we love you. We really couldn't do this without you. Our fans are the best on the planet, and I will go against anybody and say that.
For sure.
Definitely. Anykai, you've been quiet, man. What about you? What do you think? Any shout outs?
Even there.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Just like over. I'm kind of curious to see what he's doing at this point. But no.
Definitely
like-
shout out to the family. Shout out to Tabby. Love you, Tabby.
I'll look at you guys. I ain't seen you guys in forever.
Hey, Mindy, actually, if she's not too busy for a couple minutes, why don't you get her to kind of pop in and say hello to everybody?
Yeah, I think we're still waiting on questions, right?
I'm popping in. Hello, everybody. Okay, bye.
Bye.
But that's our beautiful merch girl and my amazing other half. Okay, so my lug nut says, can't wait to see you guys come up here to Western Pennsylvania for shows. We would love to do that at some point.
Somebody last night asked us to come up and play a club in Pittsburgh, but we'll figure it out.
Speaking of, I think we should talk a little bit about our shows because this has kind of been a whirlwind of a year for us. We started out, of course, in our hometown, or the band's hometown, rather, and we played some local shows, but we just got ourselves broken into North Carolina. Anybody want to talk about that experience? Because that was amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. That was
You
fun.
didn't know what to expect, and then you found this amazing place. Like, fantastic.
Absolutely. And the Carolina Headbangers, man, they come to a lot of the Carolina shows, and they welcome everybody with open arms, and they promote everybody on their page. Like, that's a close-knit group of people that I really enjoy, for sure. But we have more North Carolina shows coming up, and I think we've got Salisbury and Gastonia, and then we're going to Richmond which is still in Virginia, but a very new area for us.
Yeah.
On to Northern Virginia. So gonna head up to Nova for Halloween. And then we have an Ohio show. So
That was gonna be interesting too.
cool. We're going out there to hang out with some of the haunt folk. So that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, what Terrortown, Williamsburg.
Terrortown, check them out.
When I get to meet Haunted Honeymooners. It's gonna be exciting.
Finally.
Yeah, all right. I've been dying to meet those guys, man. Dude seems like he gets you wild.
They're so very down to earth people and just wonderful to sit down and have a conversation with.
Absolutely. James and Trish, man, they found us and made us believers. They've absolutely come through with everything that they've promised. And it has been, we're not only endorsed by them, but it's been a beautiful partnership. You know, like everybody in this partnership is happy with one another and gets along, and they treat us like family and vice versa. But they also do a lot of stuff for us as a band, as far as like, you know, they're getting us a show and they're doing interviews and just pushing our name out any way that they can. So we like to try and do that for them as well. So, my lug nut says I'm only an hour, maybe hour and a half from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got a pretty cool scene, man, and so does Philly. I think Pennsylvania is a huge hub for metal, so maybe in the upcoming year we can discuss that.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've about booked up what we wanted to do this year. We've got several shows. We've had to turn down a few shows just because we really want to try to focus on recording and getting this music out, you know, at some point. We promised, you know, earlier in the year that we was going to try to get it out by late summer. But, you know, we've had so many things happen and so many new opportunities, but it's impossible to really plan when there's constantly new opportunities popping up, you know, new things coming up. So we'll try to get that out ASAP.
Absolutely. Anthony says, hello from Volvo, guys. Keep killing it. Thank you, Anthony.
What's up, dude?
Y'all know who that is, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Glad you guys could make it.
Dude, I was so happy when I seen them walk up. I was like, no way, man. That's my boy, yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Well, if you have any more questions, drop them below. If not, we're going to start wrapping things up. Is there anything that you guys want to tell fans or just talk about in general?
We love every single one of you. Thank you for all the support. Come to a show, come see us, and come have a conversation. We love to talk with every single one of you. It's a wonderful experience.
Agreed. Manny, you got anything you want to say?
Jed pretty much just summed it all up for me. You know, I want to thank everybody that's helped us out. All the sponsors, the endorsements and everything, you know, thank you guys so much. I want to thank the fans for the love. I know I don't say this enough, but I want to thank, you know, you guys for giving me the opportunity to come in and learn from each one of you. The chance, the opportunity, it's very much a huge honor to me. So thank you guys. And come out to the show, say hi, and get a picture.
Gage, is there anything that you want to say to your newfound fans?
Yeah, I was really just gonna say, you know, the love that I've gotten over the last couple days, not just from you guys, but from the entire Dying Oath family. Everybody's been like just extremely cool about it. People have, you know, made it a point to seek me out and tell me that they were impressed with me or to give me support through all of this. So it's just been a really awesome transition for me. So I just want to say thank all you guys for everything that you guys have done and putting up with me all week. And big thanks to the family too. I'll try not to let you all down. So really glad to be here.
Josh?
Gage, did you happen to see the crowd reaction when Mindy announced you at the show?
Well, it's funny, actually. It was a really funny moment because that was one of those moments where, like, I had my headphones on, I couldn't really hear anything that was happening, and I had my back down and was messing with the laptop, like, trying to get I was, like, changing metronome settings or something. And so I actually didn't even realize, I was, like, she had already sort of announced me, and I kind of glanced up, and everybody was kind of looking back at me and going nuts, and I just kind of had a moment to wave. So I really did kind of miss the majority of that.
Dude, it was killer. It was killer. I think they improved, man. It's been a wild change, you know, but
Sure.
I definitely think they improved. You killed it.
It's
For 2 days of practice, yeah.
very, very humbling, the response from everybody. So it's pretty awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, you know, I just want to thank everybody. I mean, we wouldn't be here without you guys. You know, everybody that, you know, liked their posts, everybody that, you know, comments, any reactions, you know, just a simple thumbs up, you know, means the world to us. And we do our best to try to go through every single one of those. You know, every time we post something, somebody comments, you know, we really do our best to try to interact with you, and to, you know, thank you. You know, just try to develop a relationship with you guys, because I mean, when it all boils down to it, man, I mean, we wouldn't be here, you know, just like I said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where you at, boy? Endicott.
Well, I'm ashamed to admit how distracted I was when you had the cat. That's why you had that real bad answer earlier. I'd like to thank the family. Say what?
What are you talking about?
I was watching the cat earlier when you guys caught me with a question. But thank you to the family. Gage, you did a killer job Saturday. I meant it, and I'm glad you're a part of us now. And just want to give a shout out to just, you know, you guys, obviously. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do it, would we?
That's true. First and foremost, I definitely want to thank you guys, the band, for believing in me and pushing me to be the best that I absolutely can be, and lighting a fire under my ass and making me remember what made me passionate about this to begin with. I want to thank, of course, our endorsements. Without you, a lot of this isn't possible. And especially our fans, the Dying Rose family. Like, you guys have been there from day one, and we hope to give you lots of music that you love for years to come. And Gage, also, thank you for coming in on short notice and blowing everybody away. Welcome to the family, dude.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, honestly, everybody that I've talked to about Gage, you know, they're like, how long did he have to practice with this? And I told them, you know, just 2-3 days at the most. And they're like, he did all that in 3 days. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to, you know, everything progresses. He's so amazing. So
Yeah, wait till I actually learn the songs.
all right. You know, it's, dude, you've gotten so many compliments, you know, just, I'm proud of you for being able to come in just a couple days and do that. So,
Well, thanks.
you know,
I really appreciate it. And then, you know, it goes right along with what I said, man. Everybody's just been super amazing. All the fans, man. I couldn't thank you guys enough, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
We couldn't thank you enough, man. You're man.
Whatever.
Yeah, you really pulled us out of a tough situation there.
Absolutely. And it's been a very humbling experience to see how the fans, no matter what we do, you know, they've always got our backs and want our best interests at heart.
Yep.
Definitely appreciate that a lot.
No doubt.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you guys want to say before we kind of wrap this thing up?
Yeah, man. If you haven't listened to us yet, you can find us everywhere. You can find us, you know, we've got music videos on YouTube. You can find our music on Spotify, you know, Apple Music, we're on Deezer. We're on pretty much every major streaming service. Check out our page on Facebook, you know, facebook.com/Dying Oath, Twitter, Instagram. We're on all of that. Dying Oath Family, it's a private group we've got on there. We share a ton of like extra behind the scenes stuff, you know, videos, show photos, show videos. You know, if you jump in there, you'll actually hear probably quite a bit of music that we haven't even released yet. So yeah, check us out on all that stuff, man.
Well,
Okay.
I think we're coming to an end. So thank you guys for tuning in. Share it with your friends if you feel like you want to. Keep an eye out because we do have new music coming and lots of it. So bear with us. Be patient.
For sure.
We actually have one more question before we wrap this up. Are we ever going to slam out a cover live? I personally
Probably. Eventually.
I've been dying to do a couple. Yeah. There's a couple songs in particular that I think we would absolutely crush. You know, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Call of Duty Nazi Zombies, but the song 115 on there, I would love to do that. And I think Mindy would absolutely crush the vocals for that. That one, I've been wanting to do like, you know, In Flames, Take This Life, you know, something along that. I don't know. We'll see what the future holds.
Hopefully is a good answer. Hopefully we do some covers. Right now we're more into working on our original stuff and getting all of that perfected. But somewhere down the line, I think that we'll do covers once we can agree on something.
And a lot of the shows that we're doing now, you know, we've got an hour slot. You know, we've got 30 minutes to play roughly. We've got 15 set up, 15 tear down. You know, it really doesn't allow a whole lot of time for anything else. We've got, you know, our main songs, which typically run a little long. So we really haven't had much time to do anything like that. But I'd love to have something to swap in and out and kind of keep the shows, you know, relatively fresh, so we're not just playing the same thing over and over every single time.
Absolutely. And I'm going to give them just a minute or so. If you've got any more questions or comments or anything that you want us to talk about live, go ahead and drop that below. Guess we'll just hang out and see what happens and be our charming selves.
Right on.
That's hard for me.
Let me swap over here and see what the other guys are going. I can't see anybody. All right, there's old Jebby. There's old Matt.
Old Jibby.
Oh, Jibby.
Old Jibby. Oh, and if you haven't checked out Endicott's TikTok, he's famous, so you should do that.
He really
For as long as it exists, he will be on top. So go check that out. Also, you know, I want to thank you guys for like subscribing to our YouTube channel and following us on Spotify. If you haven't done that, please do that because the numbers actually help us get to where we need to be. So find us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, find us on Spotify, follow us. We also have Bandcamp and whatnot. So. And also a shout out to my merch guy because all of the merch that you guys have been buying has actually been from my merch guy. He does these awesome packages that he lets us put together. He also did our banners. So if you're in a band and you want some great merch at cheaper prices, hit up my merch guy. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, Andy Smith's a good dude, man. He'll help you out.
And comment if you liked this. I mean, if you want us to do more live question-taking videos like this, comment, subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll be notified whenever we go live. So smash that bell, as they say on the old YouTubes. You know.
Absolutely. And we hope to do this more often. We want to take time to engage more with our fans, which is also why we have the Dying Oath family. So if you're on the page or our YouTube and you're watching this, go join the family because there's so many things that you're going to get there. Discounts, photos, behind the scenes stuff, like music before it even comes out. And you'll get to see another side of us that we don't get to put on the business page because there are only so many things that we can put on the business page to keep that so it doesn't get, you know, swamped by all the other things. But if you really want to get to know us and know who we are as human beings and not just musicians, join the Dying Oath family and become a part of that because we love all of you and we want to involve you as much as possible. So
we've actually got some exclusive merch on there too. Something you can't find it. Yeah.
absolutely.
That's going to be badass too. I can't wait to get one.
That's pretty sweet.
You have some more merch that's getting ready to drop, so keep an eye out on that. And we just got the patches in, so if you guys want that, you can go ahead and send us a message. You can pre-order those now. If you go to the Dying Oath family, you'll get to see the new merch that you can pre-order before it comes out. But most importantly, come out to a show, see us play. Let us sign the merch for you. You know, come out, have a conversation. You even get some free merch a lot of the times. if you're buying things, you know, we like to give back, especially to the kids. So come out and see us, man. All right, so it looks like we don't have any more questions. So we'll try to get back at this maybe next week or the following week. If you guys like this, please let us know so that we know to keep doing this, and subscribe so that you can get notified to know when we're actually going to do it.
Right on.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up. We love you guys. Hope to see you soon. Catch you on the flip side.
Take care, fam.
Love you guys.
You guys.
It's there.
We good.